Fred, we've talked many times about even though how the couch seems comfortable in the moment, it actually can end up making your back pain a little bit worse. How would you like to see a few ways you can use your couch to actually help with those tight hips instead of exacerbate or make those tight hips a little bit worse? Most of us are familiar with cat-cow or the all-fours position to help with some lower back tightness. For example, getting on hands and knees and rounding your back, as well as extending or arching your back a few times, can help loosen up some lower back tightness. But you'll notice that it's in a hips flexed position. As Fred here is so wonderfully demonstrating, most of us spend way too much time in the sitting position, and that tightens up the psoas, which can hurt our lower back. So how can we find a way to open up those hips using our couch? So one thing I like to do is get on all fours, and then with one leg at a time, can you set one knee up on the couch? Now you've got a hips extended position on one leg, and then you can start doing your cat-cows like so. What that does is it opens up that psoas muscle, so that it's not pulling on your lower back. More advanced positions are gently lifting up that bottom leg to support yourself only on the back psoas. This is a good strength technique for your hip flexor. Again, tight hip flexors are weak hip flexors, so the stronger we can make the front of that hip, the less tight it will be and the less pain in our lower back we're going to have. Another variation you might try to do is kind of these side to side hip wiggles. And if you see my back foot kind of floating and rocking back and forth like a metronome, this is another great way to unwind the hips. I like to put in a little bit of rotational and twisting movements because many times we get too linear. And if you actually look at how the muscles are arranged around the body, many times they are wrapping from one side to the front or from the back to the side. So we want to make sure that we're incorporating or using some twisting motions once in a while. Again, especially in the hip because it gets so tight from sitting a lot. So one thing you might try to do is get into your all fours position, get that back knee up on the couch, and then just wiggle those hips from side to side and let that foot kind of bounce back and forth. Nice and gentle. This needs to feel good in the moment. I don't want any pain or sharp feeling anywhere in the body. For people who might be a bit more athletic and are hoping to strengthen their core, you can take this a step further by getting into that position and then lifting that knee up and doing some fire hydrants. Lifting that knee off to the side as much as possible. Demonstrate it here on the other side. So knee off to the side. Notice also, I want people to pay attention to the lower back. I'm not arching my back here. I'm really trying to tuck in to protect that lower back. I've got a gentle squeeze in my abs. The muscles on the side of the hip also get pretty weak, and they're important for things like side-to-side balance on one leg. So don't forget to neglect the muscles on the side of the hip here, which you can do with that fire hydrant pose. So Fred, if you could spend a minute in each one of those positions most days while you're watching your show, since you've got your couch here, I think you'd go to bed and wake up a lot more refreshed and not have to deal with so much of that lower back pain you've been coming to clinic for all the time.